Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 310. And away we go.
Is that the best that you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is hardcore. I'm a Ramon Razor. Strict man, nature boy. About to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the best that you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Shot of Wrestling. I'm your host at Michael J. Putty, and my guest this week is... Oh, shit, Mark's back. Mark, the streak is now 2 episodes in a row.
I told you, man. When I say something, I mean it. You know, I'm not one of those people that, you know, just my words don't mean anything at all. When I say I'm going to show up, when I say I am back, I am back. How are you, Michael J?
You said you had a foolproof plan to beat roulette, and that didn't work out.
It did at first. I just messed up. It was my first time doing that plan. I just overstayed my welcome like an idiot.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here on Friday. It's been one of those long, shitty weeks, but nothing bad happened. It was just a lot of annoyances. A lot of things that were just annoying, didn't go my way, like aggravation. But we're not here to talk about that. It's all about happiness, positivity this season, Marcus.
Yeah, we were all about positivity, right? Your Miami Dolphins won. You got to be feeling good about that.
I mean, for now, great win. Definitely better than losing.
Destroyed the Patriots, man. Destroyed them.
I mean, this was a little harsh, but yeah, we crushed them. And Tua Tagovailoa, undefeated against Bill Belichick.
That is a fact.
I
feel good.
Only him and John Elway. That's good company to be in.
Really? John Elway? I didn't know that was the other person.
John Elway went 4-0 against Billy. Yeah, man.
Tom Brady is 1-0, right?
Yeah.
So Tom Brady is in that category as well.
So Tua is better than Brady. The numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. Tua is better than Brady. You heard it here first on Shot of Wrestling.
Get that trending. Your Jets are still the Jets? You called it last week?
Yeah, well, yeah, I had a feeling. You know, Baltimore Ravens, they're a very tough team. We're playing with our second-string quarterback, so...
A Super Bowl winning quarterback, though.
Yeah, ago.
It's not like a schlub.
Ages ago. We have a little bit of a banged-up offensive line. The dude is a statue. He couldn't really move. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. But Baltimore Ravens are a Super Bowl contending team, and the Jets are the Jets. I hate to say it, I'm a big Jets fan, but like this was not a surprise to me. What I did like, we're talking about positivity here. We hung with them for most of the first half, I would say. You know, defensively, the Jets looked good. It's just, you know, the offense never showed up.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does. It does.
The first place Miami Dolphins will now take on the Baltimore Ravens, so I will be in your seat next week.
Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup because Baltimore's offensive line's banged up, and Miami's front seven's pretty damn good, man. They can come in and attack Lamar Jackson to give him a rough day.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I look forward to that game. I can't watch it, of course, so I want to go try NFL Sunday Ticket. Price is so high, it's not worth it. Friend told me to get Red Zone. Looking at getting Red Zone last season, but this season now it's part of a package deal that I added. I have to add all the other fucking channels I'm never going to watch. So that's a no. So if you're a fan of out-of-market games, tune into NFL Network. They do a good job with that shit. They rotate the games, show the highlights. They show you like the touchdowns, the big plays. Well, compared to me, I have nothing else to compare it to because it's all I got.
Wait, Sunday Ticket, that's not on Fios, right? Or is it on Fios?
I believe it's its own separate thing now. It used to be exclusively on DirecTV.
Right.
They expanded it to its own streaming service type deal. So you just got to download the app and you can watch it anytime you want.
I may have to do that. I got to do something.
Yeah, pick a new team.
Not necessarily a new team. Just watch NFL Red Zone and just watch my bets and my fantasy teams, you know? That's what gets me by.
I was going to pick the parlay because I don't know anything about gambling, but it sounded okay. And then the clock turned to 1 o'clock and they canceled my bet. I didn't do it in time, and I would have lost, so thank God.
Oh, yeah. Well, I learned something very valuable this past week. Never betting on week one ever again.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It was a rough week for me.
One year I did a Survivor League pool, and that was kind of stressful but yet fun. So if I ever do it again, I might do that because I was you had a lot of thinking involved in that one. Like that was more chess than checkers.
It's kind of like checkers.
No, nothing like checkers at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like checkers.
The Bills, the Dolphins got an easy win this week, but the Dolphins have an easy win in 4 weeks, so maybe I'll save the Dolphins. You think like 3 steps ahead, 3 weeks ahead.
I feel like fantasy football is more chess, and this is more checkers.
Well, once again, I agree to disagree. If you hear some disappointment in my co-host's voice, you'll see that breaking news tonight, Marcus, you hear? Your lifetime dream role of being Phantom of the Opera closed down after 30-some years.
I did hear about that.
Man, if I could cast you in any role, it was going to be Phantom of the Opera.
Why?
You wear a mask the whole time, and it was just so disappointing to see it closed down. As an actor, I apologize. You get him next time, buddy. You get him next time.
I mean, listen, 35 years. I mean, that's one hell of a run. And, everything does come to an end sometime. And this is how I personally felt when Les Mis closed down. It was pretty sad because Les Mis is my favorite show of all time. Phantom of the Opera, I've seen a couple times. I know a few people that's been on the show. Cool bit of history back there. I'm sorry. I had a little bit of like a, history lesson when the last times, because I knew the Phantom playing at that point. He allowed us to come backstage. We're on the stage. I got to wear the original mask. So did my wife. Nice. It was really cool. And Phantom of the Opera, man, it's made more money than Star Wars, than the Knicks. It's made so much money. It's been a staple for New York City. It's just crazy that it's over. I mean, I personally, confession, I appreciate the history of Phantom of the Opera. I appreciate the show itself, but I've personally never been a fan of the show, if that makes sense. But yeah, I wonder what's going to take its place. What's going to be that next, marquee must-see show when I come to New York City? I guess Hamilton is going to be it.
Jeez, yeah, but those tickets are ridiculously priced.
They're ridiculously priced, but I don't know. Is that going to last 35 years? I doubt it.
We'll see. I have no clue how that works. But I do know what works is the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
So, Marcus, tell us what's trending this week.
All right, buddy. Well, surprise. Continuing on from last week, the Elite is in the news again. So, what do we have here, buddy? Steve Carrier, Ringside News, at Steve_Carrier. We can confirm that the Young Bucks sent out feelers to WWE. They are not alone. We were told that Kenny Omega has had feelers out to WWE since before he returned from injury. Now, since then, the Young Bucks have gone on to say that these are just rumors. They refuted that this actually ever happened. But, buddy, when there's smoke, there's fire. So I have to ask this. Is there a realistic chance that we could see the Elite in WWE?
There's always a chance. If you asked me that question last year about Cody Rhodes, I would have said no. And I would have been wrong. So there's always a chance. The foundation's there. The precedent has been set. I don't see why not.
I am going to have to say no. And I don't think that has anything to do with Kenny Omega and Young Bucks not wanting to go to WWE. I think, does Triple H want them in WWE? It seems like Kenny Omega and Young Bucks, they have a reputation for rubbing people the wrong way. And honestly, before AEW, Kenny Omega has been a star for a long time, man. And wouldn't you think WWE would have had Kenny Omega longer ago than right now? Especially right now, with all these things that are going on, with all this drama. Why would they want that in the WWE locker room when things are actually getting better in the locker room since Vince McMahon has been gone?
Well, didn't
Kenny Young Bucks, same thing. I've heard some bad things about Young Bucks.
Didn't Kenny Omega say he did not want to go to WWE? That there was been talks and feelers out in the past, but he just didn't want to go work there.
I'm sure it's him spinning it. That's his. Kenny Omega is a brand, right? He's going to do everything possible to protect his brand. He does. He has for a very long time. He does a great job at doing that. But right now, there's cracks in the armor all around, and not just him. I'm talking about the Young Bucks. I'm also talking about CM Punk as well. All these news that are coming out there, no one's looking good from it at all. Nobody. It's not me being a CM Punk fan siding with him. I'm throwing him in that same category as well. No one is looking good from this. And so why would WWE want to touch this genre when everyone knows the deal? WWE probably knows more than we do, of course.
Hell yeah, they do. But again, this is also a moot point because aren't they signed for another 2 years? All three of them?
They could try to avoid their contracts. They're EVPs of the company. They could do whatever they want to do there. There's definitely like people that get paid more than we do that specialize in that type of stuff. And I'm sure they have good agents. They have good representation there, so they can figure something out. You hear stuff like that happen all the time. People like, renegotiate the contract, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then that's it. Or, they could just, what's the new term in the NFL? Hold in. They could hold in instead of hold out. They could just sit in the locker room and say, hey, we're not performing. Or I'm injured.
Okay.
So who knows what type of games they can pull right now. It's just not looking good for AEW, I'll tell you that.
Still? Isn't this blowing over? Are we still talking about it? That stuff that happened? The suspension is handed down. Half the people suspensions have been lifted. CM Punk's gone for 8 to 9 months.
We didn't even know how long these suspensions are for, do we?
The people involved with it, breaking it up, have been lifted this past week. Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Punk are still in force. We don't know how long the main participants are.
This is crazy, man. But, hey, ratings are doing well for AEW. But
a wise man once said, controversy creates cash. So, of course, they'll be fine.
It's how you work with it, though, from there. Like, you have to be wise to make it the cash.
Oh, yeah. We talked about it last week. Yeah.
You can't rely on luck for that. So, but moving on, yeah, we did talk quite a bit about that. But, of course, it's spilling over to the week, so I wanted to touch a little bit more on that. But here we go. Going into WWE, full blown here, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com at Sean Ross Sapp. He quote retweeted basically what's been going around for a while from Wrestling Features. Does Roman Reigns versus The Rock need a world title involved? A lot of people have their own opinions about this. Sean Ross Sapp says, no, I'd argue that it lessens the intrigue because The Rock isn't winning the title at this point. The story of Roman's title run has been just as much about being the provider, head of the table, and tribal chief of their family. It can be about that and mean just as much. And I've seen a lot of people talk a little bit more about this in general, but coincidentally enough, Roman Reigns was trending the same day about the world title. WrestleVotes at WrestleVotes. The situation with the world titles and Roman Reigns is complex, according to a source. They would like to go into Mania season and WrestleMania itself with 2 champions, but they also don't want Reigns losing at all prior. I'm told Triple H and company are open to all things creatively here. So, Putty, this is a 2-part question here. Does Roman versus Rock need to be for the title, do you think? And going into WrestleMania, then, what should they do with the championship?
No, it doesn't need to be for the title, but it'll make it so much more interesting if it was. Just that much more is on the line. We know The Rock won't win. I disagree. I think The Rock could easily win that match, hands down. He could be the only person I really can think of that could dethrone Roman Reigns. Going back to my original point, have The Rock dethrone Roman Reigns and Austin Theory cash in on The Rock. Helps elevate Austin Theory even more. Still sticking with that theory. No pun intended. Going back, they always called it the Undisputed title, right? Undisputed World Universal title, correct?
Yes.
I haven't heard him call it the Unified title. So I think it's still 2 different titles. You have number 1's contender match that ends in a controversial finish, a la the Royal Rumble with Lex Luger and British Bulldog, Bret Hart. So it's a triple threat match. One of them wins 1 title. Roman Reigns holds on to the other. Boom, WrestleMania season. 2 champions.
I think it's going to have
Paul Heyman, all right, we're going against 2 people here. It's unfair to Roman Reigns, so we'll only put 1 title on the line. Shit like that. There's a story built in there somewhere.
So you're talking about basically Roman Reigns double-shotting WrestleMania. I'm assuming it's going to be 2 nights. So you could realistically have him wrestle night 1 and night 2 for separate championships.
I was thinking somehow, I know we're kind of in the on-ramp to the WrestleMania season, but somehow before that. But now that it's 2 nights, what you just said makes more sense. He loses 1 title night 1 and then loses to The Rock on night 2.
But then he doesn't have – I think losing to The Rock is a bad idea.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. Beating The Rock would help him so much more. But just ever since when it happened, I just feel like that would be better for Austin Theory, his character, who he needs help right now. He's getting buried.
Well, if Austin Theory beats Roman Reigns after this historic run, you don't think that would be even better for Austin Theory? The Rock is over 50 years old by the time he gets into that ring. I love The Rock, much respect to him, but as far as in-ring work, you'd have to say Roman Reigns is better. Roman Reigns is better than The Rock probably in his prime. Mic, it's different. In the mic, it's different. On the mic, it's different. The Rock definitely would own him on the mic. But in the ring, this is Roman Reigns' time. The Rock doesn't need to win this match. It does nothing for him. If anything, it buries Roman Reigns. But however, going along with what you're saying, though, if Roman Reigns were to double shot, night 1, night 2, say he faces the winner of the Royal Rumble for one championship, and in between there, he has a face-off with The Rock. The Rock challenges him for the other championship night 2. That could work. He could lose one championship to the Royal Rumble winner and beat The Rock and still keep the other championship and still keep it going. I think that's a money idea.
I think all our ideas
It's
of
a
money.
win
I don't
for
think,
everyone.
I don't think there's any wrong answer here. Yes, I have Roman Reigns for the last 2 years saying he's the head of the family, head of the table, your tribal chief.
He is.
I mean, look what The Rock's doing. Shouldn't Rock be the head of the family, head of the table? He's making more bank. He's more famous. He's doing more for this family than Roman Reigns is. He deserves to be head of the table. So maybe him.
And then what, Putty? I agree with you in the fact that, yes, The Rock is technically head of the table because of just how much he's worth and how much he does in entertainment. Like in the WWE universe, The Rock, it's impossible for him to be head of the table at that table because The Rock is out there doing a million different things and doing a great job at it. But there's no way in hell that he can come in and week out and be the champion that he wants to be and that the people want him to be as well.
Oh, then he's not going to win. He's not a state champion. That's what I'm talking about. The Austin Theory thing catches in on a week, beat up with The Rock, and The Rock can go back to Hollywood. Roman Reigns gets a not much needed vacation, and we usher in the Austin Theory era on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah, Austin Theory beats a 50-year-old man who just won probably barely against Roman Reigns. Nah, man, I think the money thing for you, I'll go along with your idea. Say Austin Theory does cash in the match and wins. The money win would be against Roman Reigns. If he pins Roman Reigns to become the champion, become the guy, that skyrockets him way more than him beating The Rock.
Really? Okay. Agree to disagree.
Talk about the modern era. If we were talking about years ago, even if we were talking about when The Rock came back versus John Cena during that time, if someone cashes in and beats The Rock, then I would agree with you because The Rock was still, was still active, barely. The dude tore his pec in the second match. Credit to him, he kept going because that match I think it happened in the beginning of that match.
Yep.
But
First couple minutes.
Again, that was years ago. The man is over 50 right now.
Okay. Well said.
And I am a big Rock fan, just for the record.
Doesn't sound like it. A lot of Rock bashing here tonight.
I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just keeping it real. For the WWE Universe eyes, I think you want Austin Theory to be the guy. You want anyone to be the guy. You got to beat Roman.
Okay.
You got to beat Roman.
That's fine.
So going on here, Putty, speaking of Roman Reigns, the PWI 500 was released. Big day in the wrestling world. There was a countdown. People were on Twitter all day long wondering who's going to be one, who's going to be what, blah, blah, blah. Even indie wrestlers, were wondering, are they going to make the list? Are they not? Huge day, professional wrestling world. So here it is. Sirius XM Busted Open at Busted Open Radio. We have here Candice Cordella announced 2022 PWI 500 top 10 with David LaGreca and Tommy Dreamer and Mickey James. Are we ready for this? Number 1, Roman Reigns. Number 2, the Rainmaker himself. Number 3, CM Punk. Number 4, Adam Page. 5, Bobby Lashley. Number 6, Cody Rhodes. 7, Bryan Danielson. 8, Hijo del Vikingo. I think I'm butchering that name.
You are.
Number 9, Big E. And number 10, John Gresham. Hell of a list right there, Putty. Some interesting ones. Some eyebrows were raised. Some more obvious in here. But I have to ask you, what was the biggest surprise in this year's rankings?
Interesting you started from 1 and then count down from 10. Interesting.
Well, you know what? I was reading the tweet. I was reading.
I don't know.
Normally, yes.
I don't know nothing about Okada at all. So him being number 2, I can't really argue that because I can't really base on anything. But probably the guy who's been carrying WWE for over almost a year, if not over. How is Seth freaking Rollins not in the top 5? It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, is he even in the fucking top 10?
No, he's not top 10.
Not even in the top
Seth
10.
Rollins' name was not mentioned. No.
This is ridiculous. He had one of the best feuds in 2021. Great feud in 2020. Again, last time we bitched and complained about number 1 and 2 with Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega. I mentioned I don't know what their timetable is. Is it from January to December? Is it from September to September? But I don't see the fact that Seth Rollins is not even in the top fucking 10 is ridiculous.
So where would you put Seth Rollins on that list? Like, who would you take out?
You want my honest answer?
Honest answer, yeah.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be funny here. I don't mean any whatever. CM Punk.
Seth Rollins at 3.
Seth Rollins has to be at 3. Again, I would put him at number 2, but I don't know too much about Okada. If they're picking him at number 2, fine, I'll leave him at number 2. But Seth Rollins number 3, then you can bump CM Punk down to 4, maybe. It's just I don't understand that Seth Rollins is not in the top 10. What?
I do agree in the sense that Seth Rollins has had a phenomenal year. I mean, Seth Rollins has had banger matches. It is pretty shocking to see him 9 and 10. But for me, the biggest surprise actually is not seeing Jon Moxley on there. Jon Moxley has been holding it down for AEW. He's been tearing it up. I would dare say he's the heart and soul of that company. And you have, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm agreeing with you here. To have CM Punk at 3, to have Adam Page at 4, you're not having Jon Moxley in there at all. For the in-ring work that he's done, the promos he's done, just the fact his big comeback after going for rehab. The man has been on fire ever since. He's put in the work. What else can the man do? The fact that he's not in the top 10 at all, like hell, put him at the 10 spot even. If you want to knock him for taking some time off, put him in the 10 spot. No disrespect to John Gresham, but like, how are you not having him in there at all? It makes no sense to me. Jon Moxley, I think, has definitely earned his right to be in the top 10, especially like. I mean, we're going to get into this later, but like, he's definitely going to be in contention to be a world champion at AEW for a 3rd time.
Again, goes back to I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the timetable. What are the criteria here? Because Cody Rhodes has had 3 matches this year? Right?
No, I mean it's based from 2020 as well, from 2020 into 2021. So Cody Rhodes definitely had a body of work that he's done really well.
No 2022
in AEW. No, I'm sorry, not 2020, 2021 into 2022. Excuse me.
Okay, then that's it. As long as it embodies 2021, that's fine. But I know Ring of Honor went on a hiatus for a while.
Right.
And the folks over at Impact had kind of adopted some folks of Ring of Honor. You have Honor No More, a big part of it. You had Jonathan Gresham defending the title a couple times. Jonathan Gresham, man, very impressive. I mean,
he's a very talented wrestler, yeah.
Very talented guy. Had a couple of matches on Impact. Maybe a couple of matches on AEW.
And he's already on the outs with AEW, it seems like.
Yeah, big time. To have a handful of matches and be number 10, ridiculous. I don't know. I forgot what I was looking for. I forgot what I was looking into. But Seth Rollins and Jon Moxley, there's 2 names are being thrown around for Wrestle of the Year already, and they're not even in the top 10. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, man. Like CM Punk and Jonathan Gresham. I mean, they probably had about the same amount of matches as Moxley. I mean, Seth Rollins definitely wrestled way more, so one can make an argument that he should be high up in that list. But like, I don't know, man. I think it's a big snub. I mean, every year I think there's a snub or two.
Of course, yeah.
Maybe this is designed to get people talking in that way. I mean, they do a good job at it because here we are. We're talking about it. So is the rest of the wrestling world. They're talking about this. Roman Reigns again. No surprise. I mean, I think we all knew going in that the man was going to be number 1. He's rightfully earned that spot.
No women
in the top 10. Lots of women have been integrated into the PWI 500, so they did a good job with that. I'm very curious to see who would be that woman that will crack the top 10. I think it's going to happen at some point. But
wasn't there
man, I mean, here it is.
Wasn't there a woman last year? Wasn't like Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair the year before in the top 10?
I don't think it was Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair, but yes, there were women involved last year. There were more women in it this year, actually. Jordan Blade, excuse me, Willow Nightingale, Jordan Grace. These are just names that come to mind at the top of my head. Shasta McKenzie. These are the women that made the list this year. I know there are plenty of others. Excuse me if I'm blanking out. Casey Catal. Yeah, there are other ones in there too. But yeah, Erica Lee made the list this year. So yeah, I think Savannah Evans. No, I could be wrong in that one. I think I'm wrong in that one. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, obviously, they're doing a good job as far as making it more diverse, if you will. I think it's one day they're going to see a woman crack the top 10 for sure because the women I've been saying it for a while now. The women are outworking the guys.
Some cases, yeah.
Right. But here we are. That's what it is. PWI 500. The subscription is out now. The digital copy's out now. I purchased mine for $3.99. Get yours today. Pro Wrestling Insider. Check it out. Especially if you're into the indies, if you want to know more about the indies, a lot of great names in there, a lot of upcoming wrestlers. Take a look, man.
All right, yeah, take a look. Definitely, because no Seth Rollins. Jesus.
No Jon Moxley.
Marcus, let's get some TV takedown this week.
It's time for this week's TV Takedown.
All right, Mark, continuing on the new TV takedown format. Talk to us.
All right. Well, Putty, leading up to Monday Night Raw, a lot of talk about Johnny Gargano's big return to the ring. WWE on BT Sport at BT Sport WWE. He's done it 9 months away from the ring, and Johnny Gargano picks up his first win on Raw. Hashtag WWE Raw. I have to ask you, Putty, what is Gargano's ceiling in the WWE now that he's back?
With Triple H in charge, sky's the limit, my friend. Sky's the limit. As long as they divide those titles back up again, he'd be world champion in that company. He has the fan support. He has the locker room support. Now he has creative, executive support. Johnny Gargano could be the face of that company as long as they, once again, divide the titles.
Could be the face of the company. Could be a world champion. I think anyone on that roster could be a world champion, Putty. But will he become a world champion? Hey, Jinder Mahal won a world championship, buddy. But
well deserving.
Will he win a world championship? Gargano's got a tough mountain to climb to get to that point. Gargano's been away from the ring for 9 months. He looked good. He looked solid in the ring. I don't necessarily know, man. I don't know. Can he be the dude to knock off Roman Reigns? Can he be one to knock off, Randy Orton when he comes back, or AJ Styles, or Kevin Owens? I don't know. I don't necessarily know. We have to see more from Gargano and see what he can do in the main roster to get to that spot. Can he be an Intercontinental Champion? Can he be a United States Champion? I really think so. I think the dude would fit that mold. He's got the lion heart, if you will. He's a workhorse. But, he's not necessarily young. This is the problem here. He wasted a lot of time at NXT, and that was by his choice, apparently, at first, not wanting to go to the main roster. He spent too much time, I think, at NXT, and I think it's taken away time from him to build himself to that spot where he could become a world champion in WWE.
This is 2 weeks in a row. We tried this whole what's trending stuff for TV Takedown. This is 2 weeks in a row. You fucked me over.
How so?
You asked me a question. I give you a fucking answer. This Johnny Gargano this week, Karrion Kross last week. And all of a sudden, your fucking answer is, I don't know, it's too soon to tell. How am I supposed to give you an answer when your answer to me is it's too soon to tell?
It's
ridiculous. Let's move on.
It's not too soon. It's
move
not
on.
Too soon to tell. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you, yeah, anyone could be a world champion, but his ceiling, I think, is going to be in the mid-tier championship. It's IC or United States. That's what I'm telling you. That's the definitive for me. What I think is going to be his ceiling.
I can see him getting a nice title run. So again, agree to disagree. Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory for the title picture on Raw, going into SummerSlam or Survivor Series. I can see that.
How old is Gargano? Can we look this up?
Doesn't matter. The Rock just had a great championship match against John Cena when he was in his 40s. You just said it 10 minutes ago. Hey, Siri, how old is Johnny Gargano?
35 years old. 35 years old. He spent way too much time in NXT, my man.
35. That's not bad at all.
If he came up to the main roster earlier in his career, I think yes, world championship would be his ceiling. Now, I'm not sure. There's so many people that pass him by. At this point, Austin Theory has passed him by.
But being on the main roster didn't hit his prime in the main roster until he's late 30s. Look at the Hall of Fame career my man Batista had. Come on. Age is just a number here in the wrestling business, my friend.
So you think Johnny Gargano is the next Batista? Is that what you're trying to say to me? Come on, dude. Get out of here.
Don't disrespect Batista like that.
Batista also was under the tutelage of Ric Flair, and Triple H at the same time. He was part of Evolution, one of the greatest factions in wrestling history. Batista was a one of a kind right there. So he was built for the success, and he never started off in NXT for that long. He was OVW, but not for that long. Not for that long.
Okay.
It's a big difference between being on the main roster and NXT. Huge difference. And Gargano has a lot to learn going into the main roster.
Yeah, and he will learn
That's what I'm saying.
He will learn it, and he'll be champion in a couple years.
Couple years. Okay.
Yeah.
He will be a great Intercontinental champion.
Okay.
I think he'll be. He could be a record-holding Intercontinental Champion. I think he would actually do the Intercontinental Championship with a lot of justice, a lot of pride. You know, he would be a fighting champion. I think it would bring the prestige back to that championship belt or the United States Championship. Either one, he desperately needs that, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a knock on Johnny Gargano. There's been a lot of great Intercontinental champions that's never won a world championship. Roddy Piper, for example, Mr. Perfect.
Wow, first you shit on The Rock, now you're shitting on Johnny Gargano. It's like, wow, you're in a mood today. Do you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? You seem grumpy today.
I'm not shitting on anyone, man.
You need a hug?
I'm not shitting on anyone. I'm telling the facts, bro.
I think you need a hug.
Telling the facts. Mr. Optimistic over here. Wouldn't everyone be a world champion?
Not everyone.
All right, moving on here. Going to NXT, buddy, your favorite.
I love NXT.
All right, so lots of talk, man. The big logo change, the whole reveal. Joseph Burns at Joe_WWE E1. Excuse me, my eyes are fucked. Triple H really said, fuck the rainbow colors. We're going back to my roots with that logo reveal. I love that comment right there. But, you know, a lot of people, they're hyped, man. The black and gold is back. The black and gold is back. We're going back, baby. This is going to be great. Is this latest logo change an overreaction from the fans?
It's too soon to tell. Like, I like that shit, huh? It's all these people who are creaming their pants about the logo change are the same fucking idiots who are like, oh, this is not my NXT. This is not NXT black and gold. This shit sucks without giving it a fucking chance. So what they're going to do now is they're going to see NXT's now back to the black and gold brand. Ah, shit, my brand's back. They're going to tune in. It is the same shit that was NXT 2.0. Okay? NXT 2.0 was what NXT was when it started out. Now it's just rolling on, developing characters, developing people in ring talent. So what you're going to get is NXT 2.0 now in black and gold, and people are going to fucking eat that shit up because it's black and gold. Proving me right that NXT 2.0 was fucking great. Marks.
So, yes, you think it's an overreaction?
I mean, to me, yeah. But these idiots who did not give NXT a chance because it had some paint splashed on it. Oh, this is not the black and gold. This is not my NXT. Are going to come crawling back and realizing, oh, this is black and gold. This is so much different than NXT 2.0 was. This is more adult. NXT 2.0 was for fucking kids. Well, it's the same, going to be same product in ring. Same characters. Same storylines. Same writers. Same producers. Same commentary. Whatever. So hopefully this shuts them up and NXT can finally get the credit it fucking deserves. Congratulations, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Great job the last 12 months. Look at the characters they're producing. Solo Sikoa on the main roster. Mandy Rose completely revitalizing her career. Braun Breaker could be the next big thing, so to speak. But NXT sucks. It's for kids. Yeah, okay. That's my D. Rant over. I'm going to fucking drink now. Now I'm grumpy. Thank you. Mission accomplished.
Love it. Love it. But, buddy, I have to tell you this, man. So, as a branding guy...
You're going to disagree with me. Yeah, okay, here we go.
As a branding guy, I have to tell you why, like... It's not so much of an overreaction. It's a bit of an overreaction, but it's not as over the top as you're making it sound to be. I think NXT, well, for me, the problem was like the whole brand change, the whole color change. You know, branding, image, and all of that. I mean, it all goes hand in hand, and how you present things, and the color change and all of that. It made it cartoonish, if you will. But yet the product was not necessarily cartoonish. It was very confusing. It was confusing to the audience. It made people tune out. It was not necessarily a good move from their part. To bring it back to the black and gold, yeah, for sure. It's probably going to be the same type of stuff we're seeing. Also, I have to retract here real fast. The fact that they called so many people up at the same time and didn't leave enough people here for like a transition, you know, they hardly did a transition from NXT Black and Gold to NXT 2.0. It was just like cold turkey. Like we have a whole brand new roster out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. It didn't help anything at all. It was a very poor transition. I think brands do need to evolve over time for sure. For sure. You know, that's how you survive. But if you do something cold turkey, it doesn't work at all. And so that's why they got so much pushback about this, and why people probably tuned off NXT because of it, because it was just a turn off to the regular NXT viewer. But now, I mean, it's funny what a logo change and color change can do for a brand. You know, I granted, I agree partly with what you're saying, that it's going to be the same producers, same type of matches, same characters. You just splash a little with different paint on it, and you have people come back, and that might be enough for people to continuously tune in. I'm not shitting on what NXT is doing right now. They have some great wrestlers in there. They definitely have some star potential in there. But the initial transition was wonky from the beginning.
You put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Wasn't that the great quote from the 2016 election, or whatever the fuck it was? You make black and gold,
yes.
you make NXT 2.0, black and gold, it's still NXT 2.0. So yeah, all right. Hopefully people come back. Hopefully people turn their back on it because they had some pink and reds and greens in it. We'll come back, take it seriously, and enjoy the product for what it is. Fantastic youth movement for the characters to move on to the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think we agree and disagree here because you're not necessarily into the whole branding thing, but yes, it's going to bring people back, and they're going to dig the product. That's ultimately what's going to happen.
That's all I want. People to not shit on NXT because it's pink and green and the logo changed. Hopefully, people can come back again and take this shit seriously and enjoy themselves, because I've been enjoying it for the last 12 fucking months.
I think what they need to be careful with is just like not calling up so many people at the same time. I think that's going forward what they need to learn from their past mistake here. It's okay to integrate new wrestlers every now and then in the NXT roster. You have the NXT, what's it, breakout?
Takeover?
Yes. No.
No, you mean the breakout tournament?
The breakout tournament. So you have other future stars that are coming in. They're slowly transitioning in, and therefore then when by the time of Cora Jade or Roxanne or someone like that gets called up, you can have I keep referring to her from her indie names, Notorious Mimi or someone like that, being like moving along here in NXT. You know what I mean? Like they have just like a system, if you will, instead of again like. They called up everyone pretty much at once. And it was just such a, and then a whole logo change and everything. It was just such a kick to the gut for the regular NXT viewer. That was the problem here. But moving along, going to AEW. So we have a couple of things from AEW here. Toni Storm was trending all over the place. I know we talked about her last time, but man, she was trending. A lot of Toni Storm fans here. So touch grass at Chiefs Tribal. So you have your women's champion in Toni Storm lose in a tag match, make her an afterthought in her own segment, and are setting up a 4-way for her a title a week later. Tony Khan doesn't care about any other women's champion that isn't Britt Baker. #AEW. Lots of comments about this, about Toni Storm being pained. We saw that happen in the tag match. It was pretty much putting over Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker's angle. Is it concerning how Toni Storm is being booked, especially after she just won the interim women's championship?
Yeah, you don't want your champion being pinned cleanly, no matter what the match is. But I'm hoping that whoever pinned her gets some sort of rub off this. I forgot who pinned her offhand.
I believe it was Britt.
Oh, there you go. Is this the one that puts Britt Baker in the title picture again, which obviously doesn't look like it because she's doing this thing with Jamie Hayter right now?
Well, they have the Fatal 4-Way coming up at Arthur Ashe Stadium for the women's championship. For the interim women's championship,
another 4-way.
So it's not even like Britt Baker's getting her 1-on-1 match, and like again, yeah, as you said, it's pretty much putting more eyes on the Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter is definitely getting a lot of love from the fans. She's getting that big push as well, so good for her. But you don't want to do it at the expense of a newly crowned champion, especially. Toni Storm just won the interim women's championship. I have no problem with a champion getting pinned cleanly, but it has to be done right. And it can't be so soon after they just won the championship. It has to mean something specific, especially for
it has to mean something. I'm saying Britt Baker should now be in the picture, but now doesn't seem like that. So now who's going to be their more contender? I don't. It's a head scratcher.
It's making me think that Toni Storm could probably lose this. Especially since it seems like the spotlight is on Jamie Hayter. Probably more so than Britt Baker. And what does that do for Toni Storm? Especially since Toni Storm has been killing it this last few months. Ever since she came to AEW, she's been killing it. And her stock's going to rise more and more with the fans. It's a weird booking decision. But then again, buddy, we have to think about this. It's not for the women's championship in AEW. It's for the interim women's championship.
Yeah.
So maybe we're putting too much stock into that, because it's all right now. It seems to be a placeholder for when Thunder Rosa comes back.
Who knows? But the plan was for her to win at whatever that All In, All Out. So they did plan on her being champion for a while. So the fact that she did lose, take the loss, it doesn't make any sense. Unless there's some meaning behind it we don't know, long-term story booking, telling. But that doesn't make any sense.
What would make sense is it would make more sense if it was like Britt Baker versus Toni Storm 101 at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, this launched Britt Baker into the champ. Oh, she pinned champion clean. No, she's number one contender.
Right,
not
exactly.
Rankings work, but
and then you have some sort of beef with Jamie Hayter in that match, interfere, yada yada. And then that could set up for that. Yeah. But it's just, it's not a good decision there. But if they don't care about the interim champion, then why have an interim champion? You know what I mean? Like it seems like they're not putting a lot of stock into interim championships.
No, it makes no sense. I
get
what they're trying to do. I understand that, but it doesn't make any sense.
WWE's never done that. Have an interim champion. You vacate the championship.
Yep.
If Thunder Rosa is injured, can't go. That sucks. CM Punk was injured, can't go. That sucks. So what happens? You vacate the championship. You have a tournament of some sort, or a Royal Rumble or something, and you figure it out. You have a real champion. None of this interim crap, especially when you just did it. You just literally did it in the men's division. It wasn't like years later you decided to do it. It's like it just literally happened like a few weeks beforehand, and it didn't work. It did a lot for Jon Moxley for sure, but like when CM Punk, it was all weird. It's not coming out the way how they think it is, and hopefully after this we never see an interim world champion again. Moving on, buddy. Though talking about champions and vacating championships here. Again, staying with AEW, House of the American Dragon at Drain Bamager. Sorry, butchering these names here, guys. Danielson, Moxley, Blackpool Combat Club, Civil War at Arthur Ashe, the biggest Dynamite of the year. I cannot fucking wait. Lots of hype about this matchup coming up here this Wednesday at Arthur Ashe Stadium, the Grand Slam, AEW Grand Slam. Who will be the champ? You can notice they're not saying interim champion. Who will be the AEW World Champion here? Jon Moxley or Bryan Danielson?
I mean, I would assume Bryan Danielson, right? Because it's been publicly known that Jon Moxley is supposed to be on vacation. So I'm assuming Daniel Bryan takes this so Jon Moxley can go on his vacation. Congratulations, Daniel Bryan.
I don't know, man. Like, Tom Brady was supposed to be retired. I mean, like a lot of things can change on the fly here. Yeah, Jon Moxley, obviously they called him back. He's a team player. You think Jon Moxley's going to turn down an opportunity to be a champion just so he can go on vacation? Hell no. You push that vacation back, if anything. I'm going to have the opportunity to be a record-holding 3-time World Heavyweight Champion at AEW. You're going to turn that down for a vacation? What vacation could possibly beat that?
I don't know, buddy. You tell me. You have a brand new baby. He has a brand new baby. Would you want to spend time with your baby as it grows? Especially to be on the road so much. Maybe she wants to be home with his family.
My baby was born, and I had to shoot Blacklist the next day. I didn't say no to that. Yeah, I didn't say no to that at all.
Baby doesn't know shit. She's a week old. Not much is going to change in a week. The baby right now is months old. They're growing at a rapid pace. They recognize you.
I just auditioned for Marvelous Miss Maisel. I'm not putting my career on hold. Like you do what's best.
Because you're striving. You're making it. You're trying to make a career for yourself, make a name for yourself. Jon Moxley has made a name for himself. He can afford to take a break. He knows he's going to be a champion when he comes back. He could be a record 3-time champion.
No, he's going to be a champion. You don't know that, dude.
You don't know Jon Moxley's going to be a champion again. Who else has got?
Not for nothing. In wrestling, in entertainment, in anything at all, in that specific world, in sports, it's always next man up. The moment you're injured or you decide to take a break and someone else is killing it, you lose your spot. You have to earn it back. Nothing's guaranteed in that world, my man. Okay. It's not like you're working at a 9-to-5 job, you have a vacation, and you're entitled for your job back. It's not like that. It's a very different world here. Jon Moxley knows that. Anybody in entertainment or in sports knows that, especially in sports entertainment.
Be going back to Tom Brady's scenario. Tom Brady's backup was a nobody, so he needed to come back to win because the Bucs needed him. AEW will be fine with Daniel Bryan as champion, or whatever his name is, Bryan Danielson as champion.
Whatever his name, put respect in his name, and Bryan Danielson, yes. AEW will be fine no matter what, whichever is going to be champion, for sure. Bryan Danielson is a fantastic competitor, fantastic wrestler. I love Bryan Danielson. I love the American Dragon. I think he'd be a great champion. But for you to say that, like, oh, well, Jon Moxley's going on vacation, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be champion for sure one day. It's not guaranteed, my man.
It is.
It's not guaranteed at all. It's not.
It is. When it comes to Jon Moxley, it is.
So if Bryan Danielson crushes it, absolutely crushes it, gets over with the fans as champion, they love him. He's making the ratings pop all over the place. He's selling merch. Jon Moxley's guaranteed to win the championship back? Not for sure, man. That's not for sure at all. You can't say that. Can't say that for anyone. You can't say that for any wrestler.
Yes, you can. When Jon Moxley comes back, he's not winning the championship, but he will get the championship eventually again. I didn't say he's going to win it when he comes back from vacation. When Jon Moxley is around, off vacation, he's going to come back, enter a program, in a year time, maybe less than that, he will going to be champion eventually. Jon Moxley is a main event player. They have limited main event players in that company right now. Jon Moxley will be champion. Guarantee it eventually.
So, buddy, this is why you're a podcaster. You're not a competitor, because you put vacations over winning championships. Like, Jon Moxley is a competitor. Jon Moxley is not going to put a vacation over a championship. It's just not going to happen. Okay. It's not going to happen.
Okay. I don't agree with you.
Who
would
do that? Who would do that? That's actually in sports. Who would actually do that?
The man has been busting his ass for a year, carrying that company on his fucking back, delivering these great matches against these local competitors.
It's called sacrifice. It's called sacrifice.
You're right, Marcus.
That's
you're
what
right.
you do.
You're correct. I am wrong. I am wrong. You are correct. You are correct. Jon Moxley should stay around. Jon Moxley should win the championship. Arthur Ashe carry the company further on to the championship. Become a record holder, three-time champion. Marcus, you are correct. I apologize. Daniel Bryan doesn't deserve it. Jon Moxley deserves it. Let's move on.
I'm not saying
that's what you're saying. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. No.
That's exactly
what I'm saying. What I'm counting the point is the fact that just because he's on vacation, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to, lose the match. I'm not. That's all I'm talking about here.
That's fine. Okay, you're right. I'm wrong.
I am right. I know that.
No, you're not. You're fucking wrong.
Okay, buddy, it just doesn't make sense what you're talking about.
Doesn't make sense.
That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't make sense what you're talking about.
Especially as a wrestler, dude, you have a short shelf life. You can take vacations when you retire.
Jinder Mahal's career was ruined when he got hurt. Okay?
Right.
Randy Orton's coming back from injury. Randy Orton will be in the main event picture.
We don't know that.
You don't know that. Okay, now
we don't know that.
You've been up too long. You need some sleep. Let's wrap this up.
You need some
sleep. You need some sleep.
We don't know how Randy Orton's going to recover. He's older, going from a back surgery. Okay. We don't know what condition.
Randy Orton will not be in the main event when he comes back. That's what Marcus is just saying. You need some sleep. I think you're exhausted.
So moving on here, because we're never going to agree on this one. But this man is no stranger to trending. We're on SmackDown right now. Roman Reigns, SCN, at Reigns_era. WWE will hold a press conference in Las Vegas tomorrow to announce Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul at Crown Jewel. Lots of talk about this online, Putty, for natural reasons. I'm going to ask you this. Will Logan Paul be the one to beat the Tribal Chief at Crown Jewel? Is this possible?
No. No way. Absolutely not.
Why not?
Triple H seems to care what the fans want. As much as they try to put Logan Paul as a face going to SummerSlam, it didn't work.
Which is very weird, by the way.
It didn't work tonight. He still got booed heavily. You posted it on our Twitter tonight. People don't like this guy. So I think Logan Paul beating Roman Reigns for the titles at Crown Jewel, no, doesn't make any sense storyline-wise, going forward-wise, especially he's a part-timer, Logan Paul. So when he's going to come back and lose to who? Beat who? Doesn't make any sense, especially going to WrestleMania season.
Now, Putty, I agree with you.
Wow.
I agree. Logan Paul from beating Roman Reigns for Unified Championships or the WWE Undisputed Champion or whatever you want to call it, to defeat this modern-day record-holding championship reign will be asinine. I think the wrestling community will be in uproar, and rightfully so, because Logan Paul, who is he to even earn this shot right now? Who is he to beat Roman Reigns? Who is this guy? I'll tell you who he is. Logan Paul is a man that headlines. Logan Paul is a man that makes money. Logan Paul is a man that gets off on being hated. People love to hate. Howard Stern made a living, a damn good one, of people that hated him. More people tuned into his show because they hated his guts. More people are going to tune in to see Logan Paul get his ass whooped And I think they know that. I think that's why this match is happening here right now, is because it's going to generate ratings. I tuned in on SmackDown to see what the hell is going on here. Is this true? You know, is there a chance that Logan Paul could win on a normal day? No, because that would derail any sort of long-term plans they have. However, the caveat is this is going to be at the Crown Jewel. As we know, anything could really happen at the Crown Jewel, because guess who runs that show really? The Prince. So what does the Prince want? Does the Prince want to see Logan Paul win? Could be. Could be. We've seen some wonky-ass decision-making there go on a Crown Jewel only for it to get reversed the next couple of days on Raw. So who the fuck knows what's going to happen at this thing, man?
Did you say people tune in to Logan Paul to see him get his ass beat?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense why our viewership has gone up. Since you came back, they want to tune in to see me school you on our debates. But nobody likes Logan Paul. I don't think the Crown Prince likes Logan Paul. I think he's paying this to see him get his ass beat by Roman Reigns.
Oh, maybe it's that. Maybe you're right. Maybe that could be a thing.
There's no outcome. There's no outcome that I see Logan Paul walking out of Saudi Arabia, the new Universal Undisputed Champion, whatever the title is. No, not at all.
I'm curious to see, though, Vince McMahon, obviously, cowered down to the Prince and a lot of things there. Will Stephanie McMahon and Triple H do the same? What will their relationship be with the Prince going forward?
Triple H. I highly doubt.
Oh, Stephanie McMahon.
I highly doubt the Crown Prince is going to give any business dealing.
Well, then it will be Nick Khan now, because he's the co-CEO.
There you
go. So
yeah.
You're right. I understand where you're going there with Stephanie McMahon, because she's a woman.
We don't agree with that. I'm just saying.
No, I understand, because again, it's Saudi Arabia, and which kind of sucks actually. I hope Stephanie breaks that mold, but yeah, I wonder how the co-CEOs, Stephanie and Nick Khan and Triple H and Creative. I wonder how that's going to go. I wonder how that relationship's going to be with the Prince. Very curious to see how that goes.
They signed a 10-year deal. I think they have still 4 years left, 6 years left.
Jesus Christ, Vince, you signed your fucking soul away to the devil.
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ. 10 more. Wait, how much? Well, how many years are we into it?
I think we're 4 years into, but we missed that one because of COVID, so I don't know if that gets added on.
Oh man, it does get added on.
So
my God, we have 7 more years of this crap.
You say crap. Saudi Arabia shows have been crap, but that last one was pretty damn good.
The last one was pretty solid. I'll give it that.
I'm not going to shit on this Crown Jewel just yet. I'm looking for how the card pans out, and the new first Crown Jewel in the Triple H era works out. Couldn't be any worse than it was.
Hey, it was pretty bad at first view. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Anything else, my friend?
That is it for what's trending. Or for TV Takedown. 2
quick points, really. Something that bothered me for a while. I wanted to say this on the show last week. I didn't get a chance to say it. Clash of the Castle, we talked about. We missed it because we were on vacation. But those graphics were probably the best graphics I've seen for any pay-per-view premium live event in a long time. Well done. The match card was in the castle, and the dragon was on the castle. It blew fire, then the match card changed. I can't wait for the next Clash of whatever it was called. That graphic reminded me of Game of Thrones. It was well done. And we're talking about what's trending now in the TV Takedown. What's not trending for a while now is going to be Impact. Impact's killing it right now. Please tune into Impact Wrestling. Especially Mickie James is following the Ric Flair. When she loses, she's retiring type storyline. So give Impact a chance, please.
# give Impact a chance. I would love to see Impact trending more, man. I see it occasionally, every now and then. I hope to get some Impact discussions on here. I hardly see anything for Impact trend the last 2 weeks, but hopefully that could change going forward.
Usually they're trending during one of their big pay-per-views. But the next,
that's true. Or a big moment. Like Mickie James was trending at that point during her promo. But that was before we came back for our season premiere here. So
their next big pay-per-view, though, I mentioned it during an earlier episode, is Bound for Glory, their WrestleMania, which is going to be on a Friday, opposite SmackDown, which sucks. Anyway, Marcus, let's wrap things up here. Any go-home thoughts for me, my friend?
I got nothing, my man. I am excited to be back again. This is fun. I can't wait to open the door for interviews. I'm trying to get my whole loft area set up so it makes nice and pretty there, so I can put myself on camera again for Shot of Wrestling. So I have my first guest lined up, ready to go. It's just a matter of when.
Okay, that's cool. Can you give us a hint?
It's we've seen him before, and we have a good relationship with this man, so it's going to be good to have him back on. I'll say that. Good friend of the show.
All right. Sounds good, man. I can't wait to find out who it is. Remember, when you're Shot of Wrestling, when you're here, your family.
'Tis true. 'Tis true. We have a lot of recurring guests here, but I want to open the door up for some new ones. I was trying to open the door for new ones, and then, my daughter was born, so I had to take a pause on that.
Once again, ruining everything. Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
She's a joy. She's a joy. I love her.
Mm-hmm. But again, you've known her for like 4 months, and you're putting the show and your friends you've known for years on the back burner. That's fine.
So you're jealous of a 4-month-old baby. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying, like, you're just neglecting the show to care somebody you just barely know.
Do you see this girl? Like, come on.
Hold on. Keep that picture up there. Keep that picture up there. Hold on, I'm going to make a real phone call real quick. Fucking 1 for English, please. Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to make it.
What do you do?
Child Protective Services.
You're such a dick.
I'd like to report a complaint. My friend Mark Schwann has dressed his baby in Jets onesie, leading it to a lifetime of disappointment and heartbreak.
Oh, she's so happy in this picture.
Because she can't read. She can't read.
Oh, man. That's when the Jets were like tied still 0-0.
Oh, what? 15 minutes in the first quarter? Yeah.
Well, that's the whole first quarter.
Poor baby. I tried to get her a Dolphins jersey. You adamantly said no.
No.
But you did succeed and said I can be give her Mets stuff. But I don't know if the right time to be a Mets fan either. So who knows?
Wait, aren't they, I don't follow baseball, but aren't they doing really well?
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
So
that's not new.
No, not at all. But anyway,
I'm sorry, man.
Whatever. Don't be sorry to me. Sorry to your daughter for when she's 23 years old and hasn't seen her.
And the Jets are crushing it? Yeah. Let's go.
As she's playing Madden on easy mode. But whatever.
I'm torn on her being a gamer. I don't want her to, but I kind of want her to.
Why not? Hopefully by the time she turns 20, 21, we'll get Grand Theft Auto 6 finally. The only game to be on 3 different consoles. Xbox 360, Xbox One, now Xbox Series X. Yeah, they're dragging their feet with this fuck. I just want give me new Grand Theft Auto, please. They're all focused on this online bullshit, which I hate because these fucking nerds and these fucking people who hack the system. I just want to relax. I just want to drive around some fucking city, kill people, steal people's money, and enjoy myself.
Wow.
That's how a lot of my aggressions, Mark. Drinking and killing people in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I suggest like maybe working out. That's one way to address your anger. Healthy.
I don't have time for that. I'm too busy riding around Liberty City and San Andreas.
The time that you spend playing video games, you can do other things in your life. Like more productive things.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me like what? Like read a book.
Working
like
out.
Take a walk?
Reading a book.
Like go to the gym. What's my time?
Attending a seminar.
What do I gain out of that? Do I gain virtual money? Do I gain virtual property? Do I have virtual sex? No, I don't. It's a waste of my time. On that note, Marcus, please tell people where they can find you on social medias.
So you can find me at yourfavoriteactor.com. That's my website. You find all my social media links on there. You also find Shot of Wrestling on there, some of our interviews, some of our commentary as well. We do commentary in professional wrestling world and the indie scene. So you can check us out on that. And, in the meantime, too, please follow us at Shot of Wrestling on all forms of social media. Like, subscribe to our pages, and give us some 5-star ratings. That'll be awesome. Keep us going here. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. What do you want us to talk about more of? Who do you want me to interview? Let us know. We want to hear from you guys.
The show is from the fans to the fans, so please get involved in the conversation. And just tell Mark Schwann I'm right on everything. Please. And this little thing he's got going on here.
What thing? What are you talking about?
You just tried to undermine me every turn, and it's just like, okay.
Give me a fight. You cave. You cave anytime
They just
I
changed the
you.
color system. It's the same fucking show. For your favorite actor, Mark Schwann, I've been your host at Monkey Putty. Until next week. Putty up.
Hey, baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh, my. And maybe you seem a bit confused. Yeah, baby, but I got you pinned. Ha, 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.